So thank you all again for being here today. And we are going to jump right in with the first question. How do you define the role of a functional lead at a CRO? And what do you think are their primary responsibilities?
Okay, so I'll kick us off from a data management perspective, if that's okay, and then we can hear the different definitions from the other functions. So from a data management perspective, your data management lead is basically responsible for everything data management related. So all the data management activities within the clinical trial and having oversight on that. The lead support, but it's definitely not limited to, but mostly the design of the CRF for the database, ensuring the data quality and data integrity, the data management activities after that, going over into the data review cycles, integrations, reconciliations. And then also the leads are, of course, responsible for providing status updates to the sponsors and all the functional stakeholders that is participating in the trial, and then collaborating with the other functional leads that's also working on the study.
And that's a great segue. Yevgeny, would you mind going for statistical programming? Would love to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, sure. So the simple answer to this question for lead statistical programmer is a person responsible for oversight of all statistical programming activities and statistical programming deliveries, which include data sets and other technical components for regulatory submissions like define XML and other things, and also statistical tables, figures, and listings for statistical analysis. So that's a classic answer. You can find it in many of the SOPs in our industry. In a broader sense, statistical programming are kind of building a bridge between data and the statistical analysis results, between data and the analysis. And in this sense, statistical programming also have responsibilities in database design and also statistical analysis, and should have abilities, knowledges, and skills in those areas as well.
Brilliant. I am getting some feedback, so I wonder if we mute our microphones while we're not speaking. I think that might help us a little bit. But I love that both of you spoke on the bridge between the data and the statistician, or the collaboration between the other functions. I think that is a crucial piece to a lead. And so I'll speak a little bit more on what it means to be a lead statistician. And I kind of a fair warning here, my response is probably going to be biased, which is hilarious because the statistician is supposed to remove bias from analyses, right? But from my vantage point, in my career as a biostatistician, really I see the lead statistician as the CEO, the owner of the end result of the clinical trial. Right? We conduct these clinical trials, which are these huge songs and dances, all so that we can collect very valuable data. But the data itself is not valuable unless it's analyzed and interpreted correctly. And that is the responsibility of the statistician. Specifically, the lead statistician is the one who holds that responsibility. They are ultimately accountable for the end results of the clinical trial. And so everything they do during the clinical trial, they have to have that in mind of what is the final result here? What p-values are we trying to generate? What confidence intervals do we need to generate? What overall reports does the regulatory authority need to see in order to show that this new drug, product, device, whatever it is safe and effective and can be approved for use by the broader population? Now, the question is, a functional lead in a CRO. So there's two real kind of sides to our industry, right? There's the sponsor side, which is the companies that are the ones producing the products. They're the ones who are manufacturing the drugs. And then there's the CRO, the contract research organization. If you are a lead statistician on the CRO side, you have an added responsibility. Not only are you responsible for the end results of the clinical trial, but you are also responsible for maintaining good client relationship and communication, so you understand what the sponsor is trying to achieve, when they're trying to achieve it. You are the link, the go-between between the sponsor and their clinical trial. You have to make sure that you're updating them regularly. And the key to that, as Audrey and Evgeny both very accurately pointed out, is collaboration between all of the functions, not even just data management and statistical programming, but project management and clinical operations, making sure the whole song and dance goes smoothly. So the lead, huge role, huge responsibility, especially on the CRO side.
Yeah, and I thank you for bringing that up. So obviously, if you got the bias joke that Bobby made, you are a statistician. If I think I also show my bias because having started as a statistician, I always view that role as the overall responsible party because I found most sponsors look to the statistician to have all the answers. And so a good lead is going to make sure they are getting the right information from the other leads and presenting them as a unified